I have Blake Vacker here with Screen Innovations at our world headquarters, and we've invited Ken Eagle down from Digital Projections. Welcome, Ken.
Thanks, Blake. It's great to be here.
Well, thanks for coming down and bringing a new projector with something I think is really, really cool. We're able to do 235 native on the chip, no anamorphic lens, no zoom memory, full resolution. Tell me all about that.
Yeah, that's correct. So this is a brand new projector. It's called our D-Vision 1080p scope projector, and it allows us to do anamorphic 235 images without the use of the anamorphic lens in front of the projector. And it's done using native technology with the TI chip inside the DLP projector.
Going right here. Let's take a look at that real quick.
Yeah, I've got one of the TI chips on my hand here. This isn't the exact chip that's in there, but just kind of gives you the idea. We actually use a chip inside this projector that has a very high resolution. In other words, it has a large number of mirrors on the surface of the chip. In fact, it has 2,560 mirrors across the chip by 1,600 mirrors vertically on the chip. So that's what we call a WQXGA resolution. Now, when you're doing anamorphic video, you need a full 2,560 mirrors or pixels wide, but you only require 1,080 pixels tall. So inside the projector, we use a device called an integrator rod. This carries light from the light path and focuses it right onto a section of this chip that's only 1,080 mirrors tall, but fully 2,560 mirrors wide, giving us a native 235 image without the use of the anamorphic optics.
Now, this is a perfect combination with the Black Diamond, especially the Black Diamond Zero Edge, because as most of you know now, there is no masking required. So when we shoot a 16:9 image up, we've got the black bars left and right. They're truly black. There's no need to drop drapes like you would with a white or gray screen, because as we know, difficult producing blacks on a white surface, right? With Black Diamond, no masking required, essentially we can do an infinite aspect ratio screen when we're talking about 235. Now, real quickly though, I do want to specify what we're talking about. The screen you see behind us is a 235 aspect ratio. That means it's a very wide aspect ratio. About 80% of the movies in the last 30 years were produced in the 235 aspect ratio. So the fact that we can now do the true home cinema experience in any room of the house with no moving parts, no drapes, no lenses, that's pretty cool. But the lumens on this is also pretty high. It's, what is it again?
Yeah, so this is what we use as an XC color wheel, or a color wheel in this projector that allows us to maximize the color output to the picture. So we're going to get a image that can be anywhere from 2,500 lumens bright with the XC color wheel and brighter with other color wheels in it. So you have some flexibility, but typically in a home cinema environment we use the XC color wheel. We want to maximize contrast and color, and you've got dual lamps inside this projector. So two lamps give us a lot of light output. They also give you redundancy within the projector. So if you're watching a movie Saturday night, you got a lamp that's getting towards the end of life, it goes out, you still have the second lamp. Sure. Now you might lose some light output in the picture, but you're never out. You don't lose your video altogether. You put the new lamp in, boom, you're back to full brightness. So there's a lot of great features in this guy.
Yeah, that is a great feature because obviously in a living room environment, it's 3 in the afternoon, I want to watch the game. Both lamps are on. Obviously with the Black Diamond, that's no problem because we're going to give you a great image off, even with all the lights on in the room, but a little horsepower is, appreciated. Then maybe turn the lamp down when we were watching TV, and then maybe one of those lamps completely off when we're watching in a darkroom environment. So it's really a very efficient way of go from very, very bright to when we don't need as much brightness.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. And to go back to your point about the masking as well, so this is called a constant height technology. Sure. So we're always using 1,080 pixels tall. So we're always filling the full height of the screen, and you're only masking on the side. So when we're watching 16:9 movie, you have the black bars, which are hidden with your screen. Then when you're watching 235, the projector automatically actually recognizes the black bars in the content and automatically resizes to fill the full 235.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Now, some of the couple movies that come to mind, Tron, for instance, The Dark Knight, where they change aspect ratios midstream. How does the projector handle that?
Yeah, so this is really cool. It's very slick. In the past, when this happens, we've maybe had to manually switch, trigger a screen movement and a lens. You no longer have that. The projector will recognize the content with the electronics internally. It takes about 3 seconds. So when the picture actually adjusts, you see it for a second, you realize, oh, smaller aspect ratio. The projector picks that up, boom, it resizes automatically. The user, the viewer watching the movie, no effort is required. They do nothing except sit back and enjoy the film in its full resolution and size.
And that's important because let's face it, not every end user out there is going to be comfortable with making manual switches of aspect ratio. So this makes it automated. It makes it easy. But as far as the integrator is concerned, it really doesn't take any more effort to do the anamorphic aspect ratio than it does to do 16 by 9.
That's absolutely correct. So typically for the integrator in the past, you would have had to put in triggers in place to trigger the screen, maybe change the aspect ratio, put the anamorphic lens in front. With the D-Vision scope projector, it does it all internally for you. You're literally, during setup, you're going to go in, you're going to turn on one setting in the projector. That's it. You're ready to go. It's that simple.
And that's great because it saves the integrator time. It gets a more predictable result moving through the lifespan of the projector and screen together. So that's an amazing new technology that's not been available. This is one of the first projectors ever to have a native 235 chip. And obviously it's a great match with the Black Diamond Zero Edge, whether it being in a theater or in the family room, because again, the true home cinema experience is 235. I mean, 16 by 9, sure, HD TV content all the way. But when we're wanting to watch a movie, we don't want to lose resolution. And that's what happens with the Zoom memory projectors. There is a loss of resolution when you do that zoom out to fill a 235 screen. And again, to reiterate the point, that's not happening with your technology because it's all on the chip. So it's still maintaining full resolution, even though we're not using an anamorphic lens.
Absolutely correct. We're not over scanning. We're not zooming out, increasing the size of the pixels when we do this. In fact, when you go to full 235 mode in this, you have nearly 3 million pixels on the screen.
Now, real quickly, I do want to point out that you've got a full line of projectors, both in the residential and commercial side. Which just step us through real quickly on those products.
Absolutely. So digital projection, very wide span of products. We start with our M-Vision category, entry level into single chip projectors. You can step up to something like the D-Vision scope for the wide anamorphic, kind of best of the best in the single chip category. Then you get up into our 3-chip products, like the Highlight Cine projector, great entry level 3-chip product for the best of the best in the video for the theater. And then when you really want to go all out, you step up into something like our Titan reference product. Yeah. This is the Hollywood caliber projector. This is the big bad boy. It's the ultimate. So we really cover everything from entry level right to the top.
And let's talk about just real quickly price points, because I was surprised to hear, because I've always known you as the high-end guys, but you've got a new line that's coming out that's actually considered to be very affordable. So your price points start at?
Yeah, so our price points start at $6,000 retail, and that's at our M-Vision series projector and our E-Vision as well. And we actually looked at a product the other day, the E-Vision 8000, which was very cool, an 8,000 lumen projector, under 20,000 MSRP, and great product for those really heavy ambient lit environments, like a living room or a boardroom. And when you pair it with a Black Diamond screen, winning combination.
Yeah, we can actually truly do a glass house now, can't we? Digital projections, screen innovations, again, pushing it to another level with the 235 native aspect ratio. Check it out online at screeninnovations.com.